Alright, what's going on, guys? This is the trade breakdown for my long setup that I took on Friday. This was the day of PPI, and CPI was on Thursday. So I want to kind of give you guys the full in-depth review on my entry and why it was so specific and precise. So let's get right into it. So this is the 15-minute chart, and you can see that we had this obvious displacement, and we closed above these 15-minute down close candles. But before we focus on that, let's actually zoom out to the 4-hour. And we can also use the daily as well. This is where my eyes are. This is the daily order block that we continue to tap into. And so you can see that the candle bodies are closing way above the opening price, which is, or the high even of the wick, which is very bullish. Now if we go into the 4-hour, you can see that we are inside of this 4-hour bullish fair value gap here. Note the candle bodies closing above the constant encroachment of the fair value gap. And also note this wick here. We can remove this order block for a second, but look at this, the Tuesday high acting as support as well. So that is a key point to look at as well. Old resistance is now acting as real support. And so you can see we have the daily order block with that Tuesday high with the constant encroachment of the fair value gap. And if you look inside of here, if you draw the OTE of the 4-hour wick, you guys can see where we continue to bounce from, right? So let's go back to we can go into the hourly chart, and you can see we get our hourly change in the state of delivery here at 10 a.m. And let's go back to the 15-minute. So after we close above all of these, we get our bullish order block. I'm just marking out the opening price of the highest consecutive down close candle here. So this is our bullish ICT order block. What do we have here as well? We have a 15-minute fair value gap, bullish fair value gap, or a BISI. Mark that out. And where are we rejecting from, right? So this is Asia high. So we're not chasing price, right? We're not expecting anything on the lower time frame here. Like if we zoom in, we're not expecting this up here to hold and continue. And we'll get into why here in a second. But this is where I was expecting price to come back down into. Why? We'll go over that shortly, but we're anticipating price to come back into a discount of this range. So from this high up here, to this low, up to 930 low, and you can see the constant encroachment and the order block is right below equilibrium of this entire range. So now let's go into the 1 minute to see what else I was looking at. So this black line is our 15-minute order block, and this is where the important stuff is occurring, right? So we use our standard deviations here, and we use our projections, right? You mark it from the last manipulation leg before the expansion move, right? So this is the last high, and this is the last low that was put in before our market maker buy models occurred, right? So what do we have? This black line here, we'll make it red now. This red line up here is Asia high. So we know that Asia high and low is very sensitive, and we also have the -4 standard deviation up here. What happens at the -4 standard deviation, especially when you're met with a higher time frame timed POI like Asia high, London high, etc. This is where your retracement or your reversal occurs. So, and you can see we're also above midnight price. So what is that telling us? We're now in a premium for the algorithm, right? So once again, we're not chasing price. We're not anticipating this fair value gap to hold. We're waiting patiently. And also we have SMT with ES. At this point in time, if we zoom out once again, ES was actually at an all-time high. You can see here, ES made a new all-time high when this move was occurring. So that's also why I was anticipating price to come back into this area. Also, this area here with these projections, this -1 to 1.5, this is what's called the silver bullet zone. This is where you're anticipating price to reaccumulate, to then expand higher. So if I play price, you can see that we have our constant encroachment sitting right above what? Our silver bullet zone, our ICT bullish order block. And if I draw a fib from this high or from this low to this high, we're waiting for it to come back into what? A discount of this leg, this price leg, the 940 low to the 1027 high. I get filled right there off the opening price of the order block, and you can see exactly what price is respecting, right? The CE, the 15-minute CE of the fair value gap, the equilibrium of the entire range, and the 15-minute order block right inside of what? Right, we can clean this up. I'm going to delete this 15-minute, or actually I'm not going to. Inside of what? The 15-minute, or the silver bullet zone here, right? So we draw this out. We get rid of this. You can see we're respecting the upper portion of this silver bullet zone as well as everything that we've already outlined. If I continue to play price, you can see exactly how and why I was able to get this precise of an entry. And this is exactly the kind of move that this is how you know you're on side with smart money, is when you're no drawdown with your trade, right? And that's exactly what happened. So all I did was enter down here. I got filled right off the opening price of this order block, and all I did was target a 2-hour trade. So if I longed here, my stop loss was at the high of this BPR. Inside of here, this was the BPR. Price should not have come back into this area. And so, actually, this wasn't even where my stop loss. My stop loss was here. I was expecting this to be a breakaway gap, but I really didn't want to see price even come into this 1-minute FVG, but I gave it a little more room, and all I was doing was targeting a 2R, and you can see that got smacked right here, and that's where my take profit was hit. And unfortunately, I took off half there, and I was targeting the high of day, and then this was the Thursday lunch high. That's what I wanted to target, but I ended up closing my position before either one of those got hit. It took a very long time for this for a new high day to be created. So I was also taking I closed my position on a basis of time, but you can see eventually we did make a new high of day, but it was very, very painful. So if I mark out this up here, you can see we made a new high of day at 309. So I entered this trade at 1052. So, and also you can see where did I enter, right? My entry occurred during that 1050 to 1110 macro, but the whole framework behind the trade, the 4-hour OTE of the wick, the daily order block, the 4-hour CE fair value gap, the standard deviation leg, hitting the -4 standard deviation paired with Asia high, paired with the all-time high SMT with ES, paired with midnight opening price. We're expecting price to come back into what? A discount of the 940 low to the 1027 high range into what? The silver bullet zone, and that's exactly where I got this entry. But that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. And if you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.